George Floyd and police brutality. Do I really need to say more than that right now, given the circumstances right now, in regards to the news and everything? What's up, guys? Magic Knives here, and watching some Modern Warfare knife-only gameplay in the background. Managed to get the advanced UAV in this, which is pretty nice. It's in this game, it's hard to get a good kill streak in this game, knife only. I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty challenging. My best kill streak so far in this game is actually 19, but with guns. So I think with knives, it's not that high. Like, I think the most I've gotten with a knife is like, I don't know, like 13 or 14. Not super high or anything. But thankfully I've still been getting some decent gameplays like this. So anyways, you're probably watching the news, and especially even despite this whole COVID-19 thing, hopefully you guys are staying safe and healthy, by the way. But man, this whole thing about George Floyd is just really tragic, and there's no other way I can really put it, and other than the fact that it was really disturbing and just insanely upsetting, for something like this to have happened to a black person. And given now, like, it's 2020, guys, and we're still dealing problems like this, it's a real shame, and people who are born in this generation really shouldn't have to deal with seeing this type of stuff. They really shouldn't. This is stuff that should have been abolished, like at least 10 years ago at this point, right? But people or individuals like that have no self discipline or control of their use of force, abuse their powers, and unfortunately that is what these policemen did. Not just the man that committed the atrocity, but one of the other policemen that was apparently involved in another incident where he committed some police brutality on another black person. But it's things like these that should never be taken lightly or ignored. And unfortunately for the incident, for one of the other policemen that was involved in this case, his incident was never brought up, and even though all 4 police officers got fired from the job, from the police force, only the one man who was putting his knee down, he's the only one being charged right now. And I believe that the Asian cop or whoever, whatever his name is, the guy who was involved with the other incident that wasn't reported, he should be charged and tried as well. And it's a shame that right now they're only focused on just the one person, when really all 4 people should be brought to question. Because even though it was just one person, right, why didn't any of them stop him from doing what he did? Because it's one thing to use force briefly to apprehend a person and keep him under control, under a certain amount of control, but it's another thing when you start overusing that power to basically cause excessive harm to a suspect. Now, I'm not a policeman officer or anything. I'm in the military and stuff, but like, the thing is, any smart individual should know when there's a limit to how much force you actually use to apprehend someone, and in a sense that you don't actually cause excessive harm to actually risk killing the person. But unfortunately, that's what this police officer did, and it caused a very tragic death. Now, that being said, despite all this, people are now protesting and rioting in response to all this, begging that there will be proper justice, not only for this man, but for many others that were victims to police brutality, mostly black people, of course. And because unfortunately it's 2020 and we're still dealing with this issue. Like, why are we still dealing with this issue, even despite the fact with how much we try and promote equality, with the whole movement of Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter, like, in terms of what people are trying to stand for, and in terms of trying to bring equality and speak out for the minorities that get stigmatized by the police, that's an issue that needs to be constantly addressed, and probably that might even be something that police academies might have to start addressing when they are training their police officers. I don't know how their training works precisely, since I'm not experienced in that category, but it just might start having to be a part of that training to not stigmatize certain minority groups just because you have a stigma of what their culture and community is like. Now, with these protesters, the ones that are being peaceful about it, good on them. The ones signing the petitions and stuff, good on them. Rallying for support to, promote an end to police brutality, good on them. But for the ones that are rioting and stuff and committing violent acts, especially whether it's to the city or actually against the police, what does that really solve, right? As hard as it is, and as deeply frustrating this is, unfortunately, most times you just can't fight violence with more violence, and in the end, this is just going to cause more chances of police brutality and violence against civilians. In fact, not that long ago, police were forced to ram a bunch of civilians because they were standing in the way and stuff, and really this is just gonna create a bigger fire in the end. So what, with the situation being what it is right now and so forth, it's pretty hostile right now, but hopefully we will be able to seek justice for George Floyd and prevent any future incidents like this. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comments down below, and thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys in my future videos. Peace out.